Sometime toward the beginning of the year, a group text will be sent out. The text will include a few dates, followed by a question mark. The dates represent a weekend in which a group of friends will coordinate a trip, a guy's trip. Once or twice a year, we take the motorhomes and travel together to a remote location in the mountains to ride our dirt bikes. We are all avid motorcycle riders, and most of us ride throughout the year. What is it about these guys' trips that makes them so unique? Maybe the close friendships, maybe the caliber of riders, or even the difficult terrain. Even after experiencing one, you may not be able to accurately describe the emotions of such a freeing adventure. What I do know is that there's a feeling of joy, of risk, and of freedom.
Hit that log, it's like this
One of the most sought-after sensations when riding a motorcycle is flow. Flow can be described as when the motorcycle becomes an extension of the body. We have all experienced some degree of flow before in riding. This is one of the feelings that draws me back to the mountains. I find that there, in the ups and downs, twists and turns, I can find a certain level of flow that is difficult to replicate anywhere else. During this section of trail, we had just finished a fairly difficult and technical section. The trail opened up and allowed us to move at a faster pace. I was enjoying finding my flow through the mountains. The route we chose for day 2 required us to ride a 15-mile section of road to access a different trail system. The conditions were looking phenomenal, just as they were the day before. We loaded up on fuel and food and hit the road. Day 2's route presented itself with some of the smoothest trails we would ride all weekend. We also rode some of the most difficult trails I have ever ridden.
Yeah.
At this point in our ride, we were starting to have to make some serious decisions due to the weather. We needed to decide whether we were going to stick to our original route or improvise by taking an alternative route that was slightly shorter. Let's just say that shorter isn't always faster. Our good friend CORY was leading us on day 2's route as he had some experience riding in the area. On his map, he had specifically marked an X on one of the trails that he had previously ridden because it was so difficult. Take a guess where our alternative route went. Right through that trail. Not only were we about to ride one of the most difficult trails in the area, we were going to go up it in the rain.
You still like dirt bikes?
We eventually reconnected with our original route and were back on more established trails. Knowing that the daylight was waning, we picked up the pace and made great time on the second half of our ride. One of the unique observations that we shared throughout the weekend was how fast of a pace we were able to maintain with a relatively large group. Obstacles that normally would require the help of others were no challenge at all. We could ride miles and miles without stopping. Day 2 concluded with the same road ride back to camp, firing up the grill for some dinner and a nice soak in the hot springs. I have often thought about why I ride motorcycles. Why do we spend so much time, energy, and money to do something we love? What does it give us in return? I have ridden and raced motorcycles for my entire life. I know little to nothing else. It has become a part of me. Through motorcycles I can find myself. The more I ride, the more I long to be lost in the mountains. Motorcycles give back to me in a way that few will understand. Some may find it irrational or cliche that where I am most comfortable is where I find the least of life's comforts. No commitments, no connections, no notifications, nothing. Here, with 2 wheels and a throttle, we find ourselves.